the nation. The health of Irish families is in decline. In this series, 6 households in desperate need of a health overhaul go under the microscope and open their doors to the scrutiny of a team of medical experts. Dr. Sinead Byrne's mission is to reverse the steady decline of the nation's health.
We can reduce the incidence of chronic diseases with prevention, and that starts in the home.
Fitness guru Professor Niall Moyna is on a crusade to get the country moving.
Unless we radically transform the lifestyle of our children, they are going to be the first generation that will not outlive their parents.
Dr. Nina Burns is a passionate advocate of families taking control of their well-being.
We don't need doctors to keep us well. We need a healthy lifestyle.
And nutritionist Daniel Davey wants to change the way we think about food.
You can't underestimate the value of eating good food.
A week of scanning and screening will reveal what's really going on.
If that got worse, it could precipitate a heart attack.
And the cold, hard facts will come out in the consultation room.
You have type 2 diabetes.
They'll have 8 weeks to turn their lives around.
I've done it!
The households are facing the challenge of a lifetime.
Just didn't think it was that big.
All whilst under the glare of a doctor in the house. Under medical supervision this week are newly married couple Declan and Diane Slattery from Tuam in County Galway.
We're both from the same town, so we would have known each other probably most of our lives. Then we just met on a night out, and the rest is history then.
As they've settled into married life, they've also settled into unhealthy snacking.
I'm probably the worst. I want to eat out and I want to get the takeaway or go to the hotel for something nice or... Yeah, and he would definitely say, yeah, just to keep me happy.
Love pizza. I love pizza, yeah. I'd eat pizza all day long.
This is high calorific stuff.
Chocolate. I absolutely love chocolate. Love cream eggs. But they used to be only out for Easter, so they were a treat, like, but now I've seen them even there at Christmas, like, so they're here all year round.
And you know that mindless eating when you're watching TV is so dangerous, isn't it?
It really is.
Declan would be crisps.
Crisps? Yeah, from top to bottom. There's no real crisp I can put my finger on. It's just crisps. So I love them. For want of a word, we're quite easily led. You know, we kind of lead each other astray on that line.
But the couch wasn't always their comfort zone. Declan and Diane were once club rugby players.
With the rugby, you'd be training twice a week and you'd have a match at the weekend as well. So you were constantly going. It was just before the wedding, so I was cutting back anyways because I didn't want to be bruised and limping and stuff going up the aisle. And then after that, I never went back. I used to walk a lot as well. I don't do that either anymore because we've recently bought a car and I just seem to be using that more and more.
39-year-old Declan is now one of the coaches in the local rugby club. But unfortunately, that doesn't involve much activity.
Physically for me, laying out a few cones. We have a strength and condition guy that does all the physical with the guys. Shouting the orders, that's it. That's about the only thing that's been worked with my mouth. From the moment that I stopped playing, it was an injury that I stopped with my back. No activity. From that point on, like.
The inactivity, coupled with the cream eggs, has done its damage.
It does bother me, yeah. The weight does bother me. I've never had weight on, so like it's all new to me, you know, having to like try and squeeze into the skinny jeans and the nice tops that everybody else is wearing instead of wearing like the baggy jumpers, which I do now, and scarves to hide the weight. I can't get used to it, and I don't want to get used to it.
It's amazing how far they've come down from being elite athletes playing rugby at an elite level. Now they haven't substituted it with anything. They're just basically doing nothing.
And Diane has seen some major changes in Declan.
When I met Declan was in great shape. He was a lot more confident as well as a person. Like, that has got less and less and less now as the weight has gone on because his confidence is gone.
I know I'm really out of shape. I know it. I'd feel very self-conscious about people seeing my body the way I see it at this moment anyways, and probably the same on the rugby pitch towards the last few years playing rugby. The jerseys got tighter. I've probably been on about 7 stone since 2005. Probably about 10 pounds a year.
But it's the next step in their lives that is really pushing them to improve their lifestyle.
We just love a little kid, so we would love it. Boy, girl, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We just love a kid.
It hasn't been successful for us just yet. The next step for us now is IVF. So like, we want to be at our best possible health for this because, you know, we're not going to get that many chances. It's so expensive.
The IVF process, we know it's a tiresome, it's a hard journey and stuff, but it's one that we're willing to go through to get that little bundle.
They desperately want to be parents, and so in one way for them that will be a motivating factor for lifestyle, but you could feel the pain they're going through.
I know.
Dr. Sinead is on her way to Tuam to meet the Slatterys face to face.
You know, they're a young couple. I know they were very fit at one point in their lives, but I don't think that's the case now at all. So I want to see what's going wrong as regards the lifestyle.
For the next week, the experts will monitor the daily habits of the couple and carry out a wide range of tests that will reveal the truth about their health.
Hi, how are you, Diane? Lovely to meet you.
And you.
Perfect, and you just pump up and down.
Sinead begins with blood tests and Declan's family medical history.
Your mum passed away at 61.
Yeah, 61, yeah, from esophageal cancer. And Dad had a tremendous amount of heart trouble all through his life, and it just caught him in the end, you know, he just dropped dead.
God, that's awful. His father started developing cardiac issues really young. At the age of 52, he had his first heart attack. So that's cardiovascular disease at a significantly young age, and a family history of that puts you at much higher risk. It's very significant. Breathe out. Declan, do you ever suffer from low mood?
Yeah, I have anxiety and depression.
Okay. When did it first develop?
I'd say in secondary school, when I
Really?
was 14. They were tough times, yeah, black times.
Was it very severe?
I'd come from school. I'd go straight up to the room, stay in the room for long periods of time, and often straight through until the following morning.
Doing what? Like, what would you do in the room?
Nothing. Sleep, cry.
Really?
Yeah. I got medication when I was 22. I couldn't really deal with it anymore. I'd been to Australia, I'd been away, and I had a couple of episodes while I was away, and anxiety was setting in. I was getting a few panic attacks and stuff. When I came home, the little traits started coming back in again, you know, and the thoughts. The thoughts were thoughts were hard. You think about harming yourself.
So, Declan, how are you doing nowadays? How is the mood, say, if you were to grade it from 0 to 10, and 10 out of 10 being you in flying form, 0 out of 10 being rock bottom?
7, 6.5.
7 out of 10. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now, are you on any medication, anything to treat low mood or anxiety at the moment?
No.
Okay, so you're doing well. Severe depression is extremely serious. You know, it can cause you to feel like life isn't worth living. So it's really lucky that he's so strong now and he's here with us. But he went through really dark, tough times. But it's something that you constantly need to work on. You can never take it for granted.
Next is 36-year-old Diane's examination. Sinead is keen to find out more about their efforts to date to start a family.
And what treatment have you been on?
It's the ovulation induction.
Okay.
So I would be injecting myself every day with the Gona left pen.
Okay, and it looks like you are ovulating?
Yeah.
That's great. Okay. And how long have you had the follicle kind of tracking?
For about the last 10 to 12 months.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can't do any more now because it's not going to work.
In order to increase their chances of having a family successfully, IVF would be the best route. And in order to start IVF, you want to, you know, have a really good lifestyle, that you are the right BMI and that you're doing all the right things, you're not drinking to excess and you're in good shape.
The following evening, nutritionist Daniel Davey arrives in Tuam to observe Declan and Diane.
We know that Diane and Declan were both very active. When you're active, you're more likely to eat more calories, but if you're not as active and you're eating the same amount of calories, you're more likely to put on weight. So it's a Wednesday, and I'm really keen to see what dinner and their general habits are like midweek. What's for dinner this evening?
This evening we're going to have chicken curry with rice, but we do like maybe half rice, half chips.
Okay. Would you ever make a curry sauce from scratch or make a curry yourself?
No, I never did.
So you'd normally use this sauce?
Yeah, yeah.
So their dish is very quick and easy, but it's lacking a lot of fibre. It's got a lot of extra calories from the white rice and chips. Now, a curry can be a really healthy dish if that pan is full of vegetables and she was using that sauce. Like it wouldn't be the biggest deal in the world. I mean, of course, it would be better if you were making a sauce from scratch, but it's what's not in that dish that's the problem. Diane, I noticed that your portion looks pretty much the same as Declan's.
Yeah, and that's the way it is with every meal. It's the exact same.
After dinner, it's time to hit the biscuits.
How many biscuits do you think you'd have after dinner each?
I'd probably have about 5, I'd say.
Would you?
Yeah.
Probably have 3.
3.
I told you I'd say.
So you'd have more, Diane?
Obviously.
1 or 2 biscuits is not a big issue, but if you're eating 5 or 6 biscuits, you're actually eating as many calories as could be in your dinner. The snacking and the biscuits and the chips and all of those things are the things that they know they shouldn't be doing, that they need to remove from their diet.
As a couple in their 30s, Declan and Diane have an active social life. Dr. Nina is on her way to see what effect this might be having on their health.
So how many pints did you have on a night out?
Could vary on a night out between 10 and 16.
Really? 16 pints on one night out?
Yeah.
How would you feel the next day after that?
As long as I'm in bed before a certain time, I'd be okay, yeah.
And Diane, how about you then? So when you'd go out, what would you have?
It wouldn't be pints, it'd be bottles, but it'd be, we'd be in rounds, yeah.
How would you feel the day after that?
Rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you aware of what would be considered healthy limits? Do you have an idea of what as a male would be the max you should be drinking? No more than 8.5 pints a week.
A week?
Now guys, the fish and chips? Yeah.
Declan and Diane's food choices are far from ideal, but that isn't Nina's biggest worry.
I'm concerned at not only how much they're drinking, but the way they're drinking. They're both binge drinking, and they're drinking significant amounts a week. And obviously, you know, they're thinking of starting a family. That's not good from a fertility point of view, and obviously it's not good from a general health point of view.
Coming up, cardiac testing for Declan.
With the history to say, it's going to be hard to escape it, so.
Niall puts the couple through their paces. And shocking revelations in the consultation room.
That is an acute medical emergency, and you can die from it.
Newlyweds Declan and Diane Slattery are concerned about the effect their lifestyle is having on their health. For the past week, their habits have been under close scrutiny. Dr. Sinead is travelling back to Galway to spend some time with Declan at work.
What I gather so far with Declan, I think mental health is one of the main issues for him. You know, I know his weight is another issue and something that he's very conscious of.
Sinead joins Declan on his daily duties to get a real sense of his work as a maintenance electrician.
So the good thing about Declan's job is that it's fairly active. I think he also really enjoys his job, and I didn't think he was particularly stressed out. He's really happy in this environment, so that's also something really good.
It's lunchtime, and Sinead is keen to see if Declan will go for the healthy option.
I get the multigrain bread, please. Turkey, coleslaw, cheese, and a small bit of stuffing as well. Thanks a million. Cheers, man. Shouldn't be too bad. Super.
Declan told me that today is a pretty good day as regards lunch, and I thought it started pretty well. You know, I couldn't complain about the granary bread, the turkey, even the coleslaw is okay. I think it was then when there was a little bit of stuffing on top of that, no kind of leaves, no bit of salad in the sandwich. Then after that, you know, you had the crisps, the full sugar drink and the chocolate. For somebody that's overweight, I mean, that kind of a choice and that being a good day, I can see where the problem lies.
The week of observation is almost at an end. Former rugby players Declan and Diane have been summoned to Professor Niall Moyna's HQ for a full fitness assessment.
We did have a good standard of fitness. For me personally, up to maybe 2 years ago, it's all fizzled out slowly but surely, and now I don't have anything else.
Step up.
Height and weight measurements are taken to calculate their body mass index. A DEXA scan is carried out to assess the amount of body fat versus lean tissue mass.
Fill the lungs all over. And blast.
They each undergo a pulmonary function test to assess the health of their lungs.
Keep blowing. And away. Good. What speed are we at?
5-8.
The biggest challenge for the couple today will be the VO2 max test, a complete measurement of each individual's fitness levels and cardiovascular health.
Up the hill. Excellent. 10 seconds. That's good. 3, 2, 1.
It was tough. It was definitely tougher than I thought.
Declan, who retired from playing rugby 4 years ago, is up next.
Drive up that hill. Now use your heart rate max. Come on. All the way up. 15 seconds. Finish it out. 5, 4, 3.
Lift yourself off, Declan.
You can stop now whenever you want, Declan.
Lift yourself off. You have to lift yourself off. Come on. Well, relax there. I'm going to slow it down and get you up. Feel okay?
Probably if I went another minute, I'd say I was completely wiped. Less 30 seconds, I was wiped. I don't think I would have stepped off. I would have fell off.
Based on their concerns for the Slatteries, the doctors are sending them for a number of hospital tests.
You wouldn't be human if you weren't worried about it. So yeah, I'm worried, yeah.
First, Declan and Diane are having abdominal scans. Nina is particularly interested in Declan.
I want to look at his aorta, which is the artery there, to make sure there's no evidence of change there, but also very importantly his liver. His diet is not good and he drinks too much alcohol, and again, you know, that would increase his chance of fatty liver, and that's something that we need to know about.
Declan is also having tests on his heart.
We've referred Declan for a number of tests today in radiology, most of which are cardiology based, and the reason for that is he has a very strong family history of cardiac disease at an early age.
My father got his first heart attack in his 40s. My uncle is heart attack in his 40s, and my cousin, 34, he died from heart trouble, yeah.
Declan is having an echocardiogram, which is an ultrasound of the heart, which lets us have a good view of the chambers and how the heart is pumping. And he's also having a CT coronary angiogram, and what that is it looks for evidence of increased calcification in the heart, which can be an indication of cardiovascular disease.
Oh, there's probably not a day that goes by that I don't be worried about it, and even speaking with my dad when he was sick in the hospital and stuff, he kind of more or less says it's going to be hard to escape it. So that was just something that kind of stuck with me.
The medical experts have the information they need. Declan and Diane are called to the consultation room. After a week of testing and observation, they're about to discover the truth about the state of their health.
I think they're a little bit in denial. I don't think they fully appreciate the impact that their lifestyle habits are having on their health.
Niall begins with the results from the DCU tests.
Declan, if we take a look at your DEXA scan and your BMI scores, your BMI is 36, and that classifies you as obese, but not just obese, class 2. Beyond class 3, that's morbidly obese. So you're certainly heading in the wrong direction. Declan, when we undertook the VO2 max test to measure your cardiovascular fitness, that gave us a score, and that score indicates that your fitness level is poor. And for a guy who was, not that long ago, training 3 to 4 nights a week and at a high level of cardiovascular fitness, that's something I would be very worried about. We know that exercise has a profoundly positive effect on both your physical and mental health. For example, walking 180 minutes a week has the same positive effect on remission from depression as both drug and cognitive behavioural therapy combined. So exercise is medicine. Diane, I also have your results, and if you take a look at your data, your BMI is 31. So that also puts you into the obese category. And your body fat is 40%. So think about that. Of your total body weight, 40% of that is fat. You're 36 years of age. You can take ownership of this. You can control all of this, but you have to decide that you want to make the changes.
Sinead has news for Diane on her blood tests.
There's a measure called triglycerides, which is basically the amount of fat circulating in your blood, and yours was very high. For women, we want that to be less than 1.68 triglycerides, so literally fat circulating, and yours was 2.71, so that was quite shocking.
So given that you've such a strong family history of heart disease, we also sent you on for some heart tests. And I'm glad to say in this instance, the news was good there. There was no sign of any irregularity in your heart.
It's a huge relief.
Yeah.
It's a huge relief.
Nina also has news on the abdominal scans.
We know that drinking excessively can damage the body, and particularly it can damage the liver. And that can lead to a thing called fatty liver, which is the first step on the road to cirrhosis. And we all know that cirrhosis is a very serious condition. And I'm sorry to say in your case, Declan, your liver has been compromised. Your liver showed signs of fatty infiltration. That is the first step on that road. And your pancreas, which is another very important organ in the body, also showed some fatty infiltration. You're at risk of a thing called pancreatitis, and that is an acute medical emergency. It comes on really suddenly, and you can die from it. How do you feel about that?
Not so good, no.
There's damage there, but it's at a point where you can do something about it. Okay.
Declan and Diane, over the next 8 weeks, there's going to have to be some significant changes to your lifestyle. I'm going to put together a meal plan and guide for you that's going to help give you the tools to make the right type of choices. Niall is going to provide you with an exercise plan. You know what you need to do. So now it's about going away and implementing it. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take motivation and commitment.
Okay. Some of the test results really shocked me, so they did. There was some positives and to take out of it, but there was a lot of shocks in there. So.
Coming up, the Slatterys get to grips with the doctor's orders. Temptation challenges their resolve.
A big beef burger, like.
And the couple get the facts about their fertility.
You may have been born with less eggs, or your eggs may be depleting at a faster rate, because you definitely have a low AMH for your age.
Diane and Declan Slattery's unhealthy lifestyle has had some very negative effects on their health and fertility.
I didn't imagine that ever to be said to me at 39 years of age, that you have a fatty liver and it leads on to cirrhosis. So yeah, that was a tough one to take.
Now we're more aware of the damage that we are doing. So I think to get fit and to get healthy, then it might reduce the fertility problems. Please God.
For the next 8 weeks, the doctor's orders are to follow a healthy meal plan, follow Niall's fitness plan, and cut out alcohol.
I have to cut down my portion size. Always eat a small portion than Declan. So like, whereas I'm only allowed 2 egg omelette and you're allowed a 3 egg omelette. I'm not allowed to eat as much as Declan, which was a bit of a shock because I'm so used to eating the same size meals as him.
2 dance, salmon. You have only 1.
What?
It's week 1 and it's Friday night. Cooking meals from scratch is new to the couple, so they've decided to work as a team.
Right, I'll do the onions and peppers and tomatoes. Today's normally a takeaway day, so this is all new.
This is my first time cutting a garlic clove. And I can now knock it off my list of 100 things to do before I die. Saute the onions for 10 minutes before adding the garlic and peppers. Okay, I'm in with the garlic already, but...
When do the peppers go in?
They're coming next.
Oh, yeah.
Sometime later, Declan and Diane finally sit down to their meal. But has it been worth the effort?
It's just different than what we're used to.
Yeah, it's trying to get used to the mince without a sauce, with the tomatoes and stuff.
Yeah, but there's enough juice there, like. It's actually nice.
The couple have also started out on their fitness plan. They're beginning to realise that the road back to full fitness will be a long one.
It's tough just for the fact that we haven't done anything in so long. I find it tough anyways.
Yeah, definitely. Very tough. A lot of aches and pains.
While they adjust to their new routine, normal life goes on, which for the Slatterys means going to the rugby. But the game isn't the only attraction there.
I normally get a burger. I think that's why I miss it, because I know how good it is.
Quarter pounder, yeah, and a brioche bun and cheese. That's the one.
It still smells
but
amazing,
it still smells amazing when you come to a game like this. It is the smell that...
A big beef burger, like. I'm craving it since we started. Ah, well.
Some habits are hard to break. Even Bundyaki can't take their mind off the burger.
I love Bundyaki. He's my favourite.
Surrounded by temptation, they do their best to fill that gap. But somehow, it's just not the same. It's week 3 and Declan's progress has been halted by a back injury. After a visit to the local chiropractor, he's now trying to get back into action.
He told me that it's mechanical. It's my body getting back working after 4 years since I retired from rugby of doing nothing. It has locked into a different position, and now he freed it out and stuff and gave me an extra amount of exercises on top of Niall's exercises to do to strengthen my back.
But Declan's back isn't the only struggle.
Today is the start of the Six Nations. That's it, Irish game. Ireland are going to do it, definitely.
Do you think against France?
So this would be a big day for us. We would meet at 3:30, 4 o'clock, and we'd have a couple of drinks in one pub, and then we'd go to our local, and we'd watch it in there with all our friends, and we'd have a long night after that. So come today, we are going to stay in the house and watch the game.
Pretend it's a gin. I used to get so excited about the Six Nations starting in February because you'd know that, you know, you'd be up in the pub every week and there'd be a great buzz and a great atmosphere around. But now, like, we're just sitting at home. We're afraid to go out. Like, it's not the same buzz sitting at home.
Half time.
Oh, yeah.
The Slatterys are over the halfway mark, and they're really beginning to feel the benefits of the exercise.
It's a big change from what I was doing, which was nothing. So now it's 6 or 7 days a week into the pool. If it's not the pool, it's out for a run. Like, the more I do, the more energy I get. It makes me feel great. It's definitely improved Declan's mental health immensely. Like, there's days there where I don't feel like going running and he's the one motivating me now, whereas it used to be the other way around. And it's great because you need somebody there as well to push you sometimes when you don't feel like doing it, because 7 days a week is hard. Like, out for a jog in the snow. We're just on our cool down now at the moment, so we're nearly done, and it is Baltic.
See you later. My mood is improving through the exercise and the diet, I find. I had other tools for using that got me, we'd say, this far in life, with having the depression and the anxiety. I opened up and I decided to go to a counsellor. And I went to a counsellor and it's gone from weekly to monthly. But it's just, I get a lot of stuff off my chest. But also in general, letting people know that you have this, nothing to be ashamed of. But I found since I've got this new diet, this new exercise regime, that I'm moving on to the next level. I'm bringing it up a level. I was once asked like how I felt on a scale of 1 to 10. I said a 6 or a 7. At this moment, I'm up on 8, 8.5. So it's every day. I'm taking every day as it goes. It's brilliant.
It's week 6, and change is afoot in the Slattery household.
Daniel asked me before, have I ever made my own curry? And I looked at him as if he had 10 heads, like I wouldn't even know how. But now I do.
Diane has almost become accustomed to smaller portion sizes.
Give more for Declan.
We've seen a dramatic decrease in weight. But for myself personally, I kind of believe it.
I'm kind of losing the scarves now, actually. I used to wear scarves every day, different colour scarves for different outfits, just to hide the bit of weight that I had on. But now that I'm more comfortable in my clothes, the scarves are gone. Hi.
It's time for Sinead to check in on their progress.
You're looking great, I have to say, the two of you.
Thank you.
Have you found it really easy, or has it been tough?
It's been difficult from a social aspect because I'd find it quite hard to go to the pub and just not drink and have the same crack with the lads, same bit of banter and the crack.
I feel like we're kind of afraid to go out because there's no alcohol involved and we're afraid we'll break off the plan, like.
Guys, that's not good. I think it's really important that you meet your friends because otherwise you're actually isolated.
Yeah.
Lots of people go out and still have the crack but aren't hitting the sauce hard. Like.
Yeah.
You need to go out, meet your friends, and I've every confidence you can do it without alcohol for this 8 weeks.
Okay, yeah.
I suppose we will have to try it at some stage.
The real focus for Declan and Diane is starting a family. They want to know if the improvements they've made to their lifestyle so far have increased their chances of becoming parents. Dr. Nina has referred them to see a fertility specialist.
We definitely both want a family so much, like, and at the beginning we were saying, oh yeah, 2, 3 kids, and now it's like, okay, if we even get one, we'll be happy with that. Listen, whatever she says to us today, whatever it may be, whatever we have to work on, we'll do it. Like this is what we want.
So you're trying to get pregnant for how long?
It's 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
So at this stage, because you've already done the ovulation induction, you feel it's time to move on, and I'd have to agree with you. I think statistically, if you haven't managed to get pregnant on 3 or 4 cycles of ovulation induction, you have to have a look and see and move on to the next step, and that would be IVF would be what I would recommend. Success rates with ovulation induction are probably at best about 20%. So, and success rates with IVF would be over double that. And you had an AMH to assess your ovarian reserve. No,
actually, my ovarian reserve was very low.
That's what I was going to come to now. So your AMH was 3. You may have been born with less eggs, or your eggs may be depleting at a faster rate, because you definitely have a low AMH for your age. You know, you're on the lower end of normal. The good thing, even though you have a low AMH, is that you're 36. And age is a far bigger predictor on how well you'll do with IVF and your success rates than your AMH. Okay. If there's a BMI greater than 30, fertility success rates with treatment would be 25% less. So hopefully with her work that she's been doing, she'll have addressed lifestyle, and we'll hopefully get better quality eggs. There is a numbers game, you know, and there is a bit of chance and luck, you know. We can only work with what you give us. You know, we can't make the quality of your eggs better. We can't make the quality of your sperm better. So that's obviously what you've been addressing with your lifestyle and your diet and your exercise. So hopefully you'll give us nice eggs, nice sperm, and we'll be able to make a good quality embryo or 2 for you.
Coming up, the Slatterys hit the pub. The couple give it their all on the retests, but will their efforts have paid off? For the good of their health, the Slatterys have been following doctors' orders to revamp their lifestyle. They've been off alcohol for almost 8 weeks, but now it's really time to test their mettle.
Ireland are playing Wales today in the Six Nations, and all the lads will be out, and I'm sure they'll be drinking. So this is our first time out in a social setting, as in the pub and stuff, especially around the rugby lads. So it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be totally different to what we're used to. I think it will be difficult not to drink because of the atmosphere and everything going on. Like, you wouldn't be on the same buzz as everybody else.
What they don't know is that their local pub is currently being rigged with cameras. And thanks to some secret filming, Dr. Sinead will be watching their every move.
I feel a little bit bad because I've said to Diane and Declan to head out and make sure they go out and meet their friends. And they've taken my advice and they've gone out, so they're in the pub at the moment. But what they don't know is that I'm here waiting outside. These are people who used to go out and drink 10 drinks plus on a day like this. So it's going to be tough. I'm sure it's really tough on them, to be honest.
They may be happy to drink water at home, but will they reach for a beer when they think they're not being watched?
He has a pint, all right, but it looks like it's just water. It looks like Diana's drinking water as well.
The match is over, and it's time for Sinead to confront the couple.
How are you? You weren't expecting to see me. What are you doing? What am I doing in tune? I wonder, can I bring you back inside for a chat?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, I know you thought you were going home.
I did actually, yeah.
Okay, well look, just for the purpose of science, we need to do a little test, a little breathalyzer. Just pop this on. Okay, so low. Okay, low, which means basically there's no alcohol in your blood system. Yay. Well done, that's excellent. Okay, perfect. That's great. Low, so basically you've got no alcohol in your system either. So both of you have passed, not a bother.
Brilliant.
So well done.
Thank you.
You know, I think it just proves to them as well that you don't have to be out drinking a rake of pints watching the match just because that's what you used to do. They can have a good time and not be drinking alcohol.
It's good to have got the duck off the back, as a minute. It's good to have, yeah, definitely.
It was actually much better than I thought. I could definitely do it again.
It's the final week of the 8-week programme, and the Slatterys are back in DCU for the retests.
I mean, a relatively young couple. I was really surprised with their state of their overall health. And they knew that they weren't healthy, but I don't think they had any idea of how poor their health really was. So hopefully they will have bought into the lifestyle change, and that would be reflected in their results.
Their weight and body composition are measured once again. But as two former sports people, what really matters to them today is the VO2 max test, the only true way to tell if they have in fact improved their cardiovascular fitness.
Start jogging now. That's it.
Both Declan and Diane have opted to run rather than walk this time round.
That's brilliant. Diane, the last few minutes I really want you digging deep, both of you. 30 seconds and we're done, Diane. Numbers are still going up. Come on, Diane. You're nearly done. Finish it out now. You're nearly there. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and grab it. Come on now, Declan. Your numbers are still going up, Declan. Come on.
Declan pushes himself hard, but is it enough?
Okay, good job, Declan. 4, 3, 2, 1, and you can grab the bar there if you want to. Well done. The last day you couldn't run, you were walking.
You can do it with your mind too.
Yeah.
The body is able.
You couldn't buy that smile I'm looking at the moment. It's great to see, so keep it up. Good man.
Thanks very
Well
much.
done.
The 8 weeks are finally at an end. The couple return to the consultation room for their results.
So they were on a slippery slope if they didn't change. I mean, they both had significant family history of cardiovascular disease. Had they continued the way they were, the only way was down.
The Slatterys have revamped their lifestyle, but have they done enough to improve their health?
Declan and Diane, 8 weeks ago you came in to us and your health was not in a good place. And for such a young couple, this was a real concern. The question is now, have you done enough to change that?
Your blood results are about to answer that question. So, Diane, your total cholesterol has come down from 5.9, which it was originally when we first checked you, to 4.1. A huge reduction there. The amount of fat floating in your blood was alarmingly high. It was 2.71. So, you know, literally if we were to look at your blood, it would almost have looked cloudy when we met you 8 weeks ago. It is completely different now. So right down to 0.73. Very dramatic, terrific improvement. So well done. Thank you.
So Declan, 8 weeks ago when we scanned your abdomen, we were concerned because both your liver and your pancreas showed signs of fatty change. And so we advised you to cut out alcohol, to cut out fatty foods, and to improve your lifestyle. And I have to say to you, looking at your bloods, I have no doubt that your liver and pancreas are well on the road to recovery. Okay, so well done.
Super, thank you.
Finally, Niall has the results from DCU.
Declan, 8 weeks ago, you were a man who was lamenting the loss of his fitness. And worryingly, we felt it was affecting both your physical and your mental health. If you take a look at the screen, you can see that your initial BMI was 36. In the last 8 weeks, you have lost 13 kilos. And that's an amazing accomplishment in just 8 weeks. Your body fat has also decreased from 33 to 27, and you increased your muscle mass by 6%. In relation to your fitness, when we tested you initially, you ranked in the bottom 35% for your age. The good news now is you're well above average. And because you've increased your fitness level, that's going to allow you to do even more exercise and more activity and to feel it easier.
Super, thank you.
Diane, if we take a look at the screen here, you have lost 10% of your body weight. You've lost 9 kilos. And your BMI is now down to 28. The biggest change that we see is your cardiovascular fitness. And for someone so young, I was disappointed to see that you were ranked in the bottom 30% for your age at the beginning. The good news now, you're in the top 30%. Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Declan, one of the other health issues we were concerned for you was anxiety and depression. Do you think the change in lifestyle over the last 8 weeks have helped?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I find when I go for the run or any form of exercise that I've taken on, it boosts, gives me a more of a positive sort of a boost. I'm more energetic, and with having more energy, I'm getting a lot more things done around the house, giving Diane a good bit more of a hand. So, yeah, it's brilliant. It's
win-win then.
It's a win-win, yeah.
Now, of course, we know there are many other factors at play in fertility, and so much of that is in the hands of fate. But you've put the effort in, and, you know, you should be so proud of that. And as I said, whatever the outcome, wherever you go with this, we just want to wish you the best of luck, because I think you're certainly both in a great position to be parents, you know, as an example and as a couple. So
thank you.
Wish you the best of luck with all of that. Okay.
Thank you.
It's well done.
Well done.
Thank you.
Absolutely delighted with them results.
Well done. You look amazing. Thank you. Fantastic.
I feel like we're on the right road heading towards for the IVF and all that. Like, we would have been mad to go into it 8 weeks ago where we were, like, with our health and fitness and everything. But I definitely think, yeah, we've improved the quality of our lives, the quality of my eggs, please God. So hopefully, we're in a right position.
Let's go, push it out! Ready,
A couple of weeks later, Diane finds herself somewhere she never expected to be again.
Ready, up!
I'm absolutely buzzed, and I'm absolutely delighted to be back because I love rugby. So it was only now that I'm back I've realised how much that I actually miss it.
And it seems she's not the only one.
I have a small bit of unfinished business. Tonight's the night. Oh, jeez.
After 4 years away, Declan is also back in the game.
As the weeks went by, then I was getting fitter and fitter and fitter, and I said I probably should never have finished, so it's time to go back and maybe give it another crack. The future is bright. That's the way I see it at the moment. Anyways, I've got so much more out of this than I ever expected, and just we're so delighted, both of us, doing it.